going to show you how to fix the sole of this shoe. We only had these for a month and this happened. Never had this happen with a pair of shoes before. Since it was less than a month we had them, we contacted the manufacturer. They said they would replace it. They haven't yet, but in the meantime, we need to do something. So we're gonna make a repair with something like Shoe Goo. Shoe Goo is a easy to remember name brand. We have found this is basically the same thing. It's called e6000. And we have used it before. This is slightly cheaper and I'll show you how to put it on. First we're going to clean this out with rubbing alcohol. This is in a spray bottle so we can make sure everything is clean. It's gonna smell like you're at the doctor's office, but you're just making sure the surface is clean enough for the glue to adhere well, both sides. You can use a Q-tip to get into some of those tight spots where the brush will not reach. So you want to spray until it actually rolls out the other side if there's an opening. That way you know it's getting all the way through. So with a hairdryer, just make sure it's really thoroughly dry in there before you apply the glue. It needs to be clean and dry. Now that everything's nice and dry, we're ready to put the glue on. Now that we've got it clean and dry, we're applying this glue to the dry, clean surface. We need more than that. And then we're gonna start moving it back and forth. Okay, if this keeps coming out and it won't stop, straighten, pull, and straighten the best you can. Pull it as you do, and it should suck some of that back in if you're lucky. Okay, so then you want to go back and forth with this so that it's getting tacky on both sides. That way you're not guessing if you got it. You'll know everywhere the glue is. Okay, you can use any kind of stick to make sure you've got glue in there nice and deep. Those little areas have got to have the glue in them too. Okay, you want enough glue that it can ooze out just a little bit there, and when you're moving it back and forth and you can see the tackiness, it's getting air in there, and that's when you want, once you've got enough glue everywhere, put some pressure and hold that down for at least 30 seconds and you'll see it won't spring back up. Now once this starts to dry, it's dry enough that you can rub your finger over it. You can rub it enough that it'll start to peel off, just like rubber cement. Did you have rubber cement when you were a kid? If you roll your finger over, even Elmer's glue, if you roll your fingers back and forth with Elmer's glue on it, eventually it flakes or rolls up. That's what happens with this too. Be sure and put the lid on tightly so that you can use you can see there's a lot left in this tube. You don't want it to dry out, so make sure these threads are clear of any glue, and if it's still oozing out, like I said, just pull back on it a little bit and that will help. So it doesn't matter if there's glue around the nozzle, but down here you'll be wishing you'd cleaned it if you don't. That's going to keep it airtight. As long as there's no glue on it, you'll be able to open and start next time. And you can store it in a Ziploc bag too, because that gives another layer of air tightness, and in case there's any glue on the outside, you'll be clean. If it doesn't look like it's staying down as well as you'd like, you can wrap it with electrical tape very tightly. This is extremely tightly wrapped, and just let it dry overnight so that it will stay in place. To be sure this is on there solidly, we're going to wrap the front of this shoe too very tightly. Okay, now we did hear back from the company and they gave us a credit to be able to use to purchase from their online store. We found this model just looks like just exactly like the one that we had. The unfortunate part is we don't know if it's going to last any longer than the first one, which only lasted a month. But we don't have any ability to get a refund. So all we can do is give it a try, and maybe it'll wear better this time. Okay, so it's not exactly the same, but it's pretty close. So we'll see if it lasts any longer. So as you can see, it works pretty well. It's not the same as new shoes, but these are shoes you can wear again, and that's better than nothing. And this is going to last for quite a while. You'd be surprised how long you could get by with a simple repair like that.